What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's Welcome Back doubleheader. As I stated in the last video, I am going to be doing the Seattle Seahawks this time. Russell Wilson is a phenomenal quarterback. He's one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks ever play the game, possibly the best. Barring Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, they have very young careers. I'll be getting to them in a few weeks here. But without any further ado, let's get right into this. So, Russell Wilson's stats on the season. Again, I'm not too sure about the completion percentage. I didn't look it up, but so far he has thrown for 2,737 yards, and he has 23 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's a touchdown-to-interception ratio of about 11.5. So that's pretty good touchdown-interception ratio. It's barring that 2012 Nick Foles one where he threw 27 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions all year. And that was after he came in for an injured Michael Vick around week 7 or week 6 or 7. And he balled out in week 9 against the Raiders and threw 7 touchdowns, going down in the Hall of Fame. Not Nick Foles, but Russell Wilson. So Russell's he's definitely a game manager this year, but more so he's a field general type game manager where he can take the games into his own hands, and you can definitely make sure he's going to make the play. You can make a bet. You might as well bet your house on it that he will make that play, especially when it's during crunch time and when he's facing adversity. That is when this man is just lights out. There's really no one like him in the league. He's a mobile Tom Brady. He's a very smart quarterback. He takes his checkdowns when necessary, but he can also ball it out and go deep, and he can also make the huge play when no one expects him to. Other than that, Seattle's total offense is the 5th ranked total offense in the entire league. They have the 10th ranked pass offense and the 6th ranked rush defense. Chris Carson, obviously he's a good running back. I believe that they do a dual running back threat. I don't really remember. I'm not too keen on watching Seattle games. The last one I watched was honestly that Monday night game against San Francisco last week, and that was probably the most exciting game I've ever seen in my entire life. But I will definitely be watching them more often to give you guys a little bit more information on them, especially when it comes to that rushing attack. I'd like to know if it is a dual running back. If not, then Chris Carson is a lot better than I gave him credit for a year or two ago, because I thought he wasn't that good. I just thought it was because he was fresh and nobody had really learned what he likes to do, nothing like that, you know what I mean? So it's safe to say I was wrong about him. If this is a single running back system, dual running back system, I might still be right, I might not. I'm not too sure. Again, I'll get back to you on this. But that 10th ranked pass offense, you really can't blame them. They really don't have anybody to throw to. I mean, DK Metcalf is coming into his own. He has a little ball control issues sometimes. But Tyler Lockett is definitely a solid number 1 for Russell Wilson. Those two have a very good rapport. As you can see in that Monday night game against San Francisco, Tyler Lockett would turn around, the ball was already hitting his hands. They have such good chemistry. I believe that they are probably the closest thing in this generation to a Steve Young, Jerry Rice type connection, to where it doesn't matter what really is going to happen. These two will be solid regardless. All he has to do is just throw it to Lockett, and Lockett will come down with it 7 or 8 times out of 10. I wouldn't say he's a good 50-50 ball catcher, but he's definitely one of the best in the league, especially when it comes to how he is with his quarterback. And that says a lot about a receiver, is if they can build a rapport with a quarterback, basically it ensures their longevity in the system. But let's move on to the defense now. The 24th ranked total defense. That honestly surprised me. I didn't expect that. Not with the way they played lights out against San Francisco. That was absolutely phenomenal. One of the best defensive showings I've seen in a long time from both teams. Offenses, I'll get back to that when I review San Francisco. I'll tell you how I feel about that one. But the defenses, they really showed their stuff, and it was actually quite phenomenal. It was very interesting to watch. Seattle has the 27th ranked pass defense. Again, I don't understand how. But again, I'm not the one who makes the rankings. I said that last video when it had something to do with, I think, the pass defense for the Vikings. I don't make these rankings, but someone saw somewhere that they are not that good at against the pass. They are actually in the bottom 5 in the league, which to me is more than surprising. 12th ranked rush defense, I could see it. I mean, you got to think they have the Jadeveon Clowney. It was a huge addition when they traded him before the deadline. When they got the trade before the deadline from the Houston Texans. Jadeveon Clowney, I believe, is the closest thing to Khalil Mack other than Khalil Mack. He is a great defensive player, excellent defensive mind, smart football player. He is all around great. Not like that piece of trash, Myles Garrett. I'll get back to that one when I review the Browns later on. But Jadeveon Clowney, he really changed that Seattle rush defense, especially with him being on the line. It is absolutely amazing. And the way that he was just manhandling that Niners offensive line, it was freakish. He's a freak of nature. I don't think a guy should be balling out like that, especially like Khalil Mack. I mean, obviously people are going to. It's just that to me, it's a little intimidating, and it's definitely that X factor you would need in order to scare offenses into not trying to run it against you. Anyway, I think Seattle's going to be fine the rest of the season. They come next week and they play my Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. I'm hoping they lose that game. I'm not too sure they will, but I think the Seattle Seahawks will be fine. They'll make a deep playoff push. They're definitely Super Bowl contenders. I believe that if they do face the Niners again in the playoffs, they will win again. But other than that, guys, that has been my doubleheader, and thank you for tuning in. There will be more on this maybe Sunday. Either way, I've really enjoyed this, and I'm loving being back. Lord 4-Star, signing out.